I chose to put on hold what felt urgent for something that felt more important.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
One of the great blessings of having a home office is that it's right there. One of the great curses of having a home office is it's right there. Something else that is right there at your fingertips all the time is Now software. When I say at your fingertips, I'm talking on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, your desktop computer, because it's in the cloud, folks. You can access that data and that information anywhere you are. It's anow.com/coach, anow.com/coach. I want to tell you a true story, and any of you who have been parents have been there multiple times. I am preparing right now for an upcoming trip. My wife and I are traveling out of country, and as a consequence, I have some things to get done. And I was working some odd hours the other day. It was an evening. Actually, it was yesterday. It was an evening, and working away feverishly, trying to get things done. And I was in the zone. I was focused. I've got the sticky notes out, and I'm cranking through them, and I crumple them up, and I throw them in the garbage, and I go on to the next sticky note, and I'm really cruising along and thinking life's good. And all of a sudden, my 12-year-old is standing by my side, and he says, "Dad," and I half-heartedly gave him an acknowledgement. Do you want to go play ping pong? You've all been there, right? And my first thought is, I'm right in the zone. I'm getting stuff done. I've got this upcoming trip. I've got to get all this done. Done. I got to get done. Do. Right? You've all been there. And then I'm looking at my 12-year-old son. Granted, he didn't have puppy dog. I mean, he's 12, right? I mean, it's not like he was on the verge of tears. He just asked a question. "Hey, Dad, you want to play ping pong?" It was so simple. It would have been so simple to say, "Hey, bud, maybe later. I got to focus." And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. If it doesn't become a habit, there's times you just got to get stuff done. That's just life, right? And I sat for a second, and I thought to myself, and it really only took a second, and I turned to him, and I said, "Sure, let's go play ping pong." And I put my phone on the desk, didn't even take it with me to the ping pong room, and we went down and spent an hour playing ping pong, and it was awesome. You know what else is awesome? Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. Anow software, that's awesome. I mentioned at the first of the program that you can access Anow from anywhere, and I do. They have an app, both on Android and on iPhone. And it is fabulous, and I'm able to access any order, any work file. We use Anow for our work file, meaning we've got tax data in there. We've got MLS sheets in there. We've got prior sales in there. We've got plat maps and zoning information and legal descriptions, and the list goes on and on and on. And quite often, I would say at least a couple times a month, I am on site in an inspection, a question's asked or something comes up, and I have need to access that file. Guess what? It is so simple. I've got my phone anyway. That's how I'm doing my inspections on Total Mobile. All I have to do is switch screens, pull it up, bam, it's right there. As long as I've got a signal, which is even in Wyoming, I usually do. And all that information is right there. Anow will make your life easier as an appraiser. It is so worth the investment, folks. I was going to say, what the hell are you waiting for? But that probably wouldn't be real professional. Sorry, Marty. What the heck are you waiting for, guys? Anow.com is where you find out more. It's anow.com. All right, folks, I told you a story last night. My son and I played a little ping pong, and it wasn't planned, and it was great. We had a great time. We really did. It was a lot of fun. And I got a little exercise. I know, ping pong, wow, Dustin, big exercise. Well, okay, it's still exercise, especially when you play with a 12-year-old, and he's very competitive, and we had a great time. We really connected, had an enjoyable time. And guess what? I still had time to get all my stuff done. There's a principle there, right? Another principle I want to share with you is the fact that we as humans, right, as animals, can only focus on one thing at once. This is a proven scientific fact. You can only think about one thing at a time. Now, there's lots of things that happen on the subconscious level. You don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to think about your heart beating. You don't have to think about fill in the blank. There's a lot of stuff that just happens behind the scenes. But as far as your focus, as far as what you're concentrating on, one thing at a time. That's all you can do. I want to bring this back around and talk a little bit about your appraisal business. And I want to ask you a question. What are you doing currently to prepare for the inevitable. Now, let me explain what I mean here. Right now, as of this recording, we are having another record-breaking month. We had a record-breaking 2019. We had a record-breaking January 2020, a record-breaking February 2020. We continue to be very, very, very busy as appraisers. And by the way, I'm not the only one. I happen to be connected to my all-star team across the nation. We're talking dozens, over 100 appraisers who talk very openly about their numbers, their volume, what's going on, because they want the feedback from the other side as well. And I can tell you, folks, everybody's busy. We are very, very busy right now. And that's fun. That's exciting. Hey, we're making money, Mom. Look at me. Now, what is on the horizon? Well, I can't predict the future. But if you use past history to determine most likely the future, you will know that we are in a very cyclical business and things go up and things go down and they roll. Folks, we're on a high wave right now with the roll. But my question is, where is your focus? Now, I tell you this because I had an opportunity this morning to meet with 2 of my mastermind groups. And we do halfway between the meetings. So we meet every 3 months in person, but halfway, about 6 weeks into it, we have an accountability meeting online where we get together and very briefly just touch bases with each other on our goals. And we say, okay, Kathy, talk to me about your goals. Looks like you've got 3 goals set for this quarter. How are you doing? We're halfway there. Are you halfway done with your goals? What can we help you with? What hurdles are you experiencing? And Kathy will talk openly, be held accountable, her feet to the fire, if you will, about her goals, her business goals. And we as a group are able to help her through that. I was on a call this morning and there's some goals getting accomplished, but many of them were not. And finally somebody said, Dustin, we're busy. We don't have time to focus on these goals. We barely have time to keep up with the volume. And I told this story about the ping pong and I wanted to share it with you, my listeners as well. Where is your focus? Now, my focus very easily, and almost could have been to stay with what I'm doing. And it probably would not have hurt my son's feelings that much. He's used to it, right? No, I'm kidding. But I could have very easily said, buddy, I would love to play. I promise I'll play with you sometime today, but right now I need to focus. That would have been fine, right? But I chose to put aside what was urgent or what felt urgent and important, what felt urgent for what was important. Okay, let me repeat that. I chose to put on hold what felt urgent for something that felt more important, and that was playing and connecting with my sons. And I'm so glad I did. I say sons because my other son joined us as well, and that was a lot of fun as well. We had a great time. I've only got 2 kids left at home. And by the way, I'll be honest with you. This is the honest truth. It's me being very vulnerable. I love my kids, but on some level, I do look a little forward to them being 18 and grown up and out of the house. I do. And I know I've talked to my individual friends who are in that circumstance, and they say, don't wish for that. You're going to get it, and you're going to be sorry you did. And I know there's some truth in that as well. But I'm trying very hard to enjoy the time that I have with my kids right now. And I did that yesterday, and it was fun. But there's a bigger lesson. What are you doing now to focus on the future? Specifically, one of my mastermind students had a goal to reach out to attorneys. And I think the goal was to have at least 2 meetings with attorneys in her area before we met again at the next meeting. And when I asked specifically about that goal, she said, Dustin, I'm so busy. How do I take time to go visit with attorneys? And I told her the story about ping pong, and I tell you the story as well to ask you the question, what are you doing now to prepare for the future? My good friend Blaine Fyan would say, by the way, Blaine's a member of my all-star team, great guy. If you're not listening to his podcast, you should. But one of the things he talks about is digging your well before you're thirsty. Folks, we are not thirsty right now. We got a lot of water coming our way, but you got to dig your well before it's too late. Because if you wait, now catch this, if you wait until things start to dry up, guess what? Everybody else is frantic. All of your competition is doing the same thing, and they are reaching out to attorneys at the same time as you. Now is the time to build those relationships. Now is the time to focus on what is important, even though something else might feel urgent. I've mentioned several times my dream team. We call it the Mastermind Dream Team. What an awesome group of people. Folks, if you want to take your appraisal office to the next level, now, I know how cliche that sounds, okay? Take your business to the next level. I hear it. I understand it. I get it. But trust me, speak to any member of my dream team and they will tell you the same thing, that they were here, okay, and then they were here. We're able to take them from where they are to where they want to be. Hope you'll join us. Check us out by going to my website, theappraisercoach.com/memberships.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.